Looks like you're starting to get a sense as to what is headed this way when it comes to those storms, huh?
Boy, over 3 dozen tornado reports out in the Plain States, and we just got a series of reports from former Chicago photographer David Mayhew. We're going to put those up on the website, and we'll show them to you tomorrow. But boy, lots of really dramatic-looking storms out there. We had some interesting storms this morning. Look at this shot. This comes from Laurie Rice of Naperville. There's a roll cloud there as cool air gushes out of those storms that came in this morning, and it was captured from the Plainfield area by Kim and Stephen Shreve. And Stephen is a firefighter down in the Plainfield area. Our thanks for those incredible shots. They're kind of interesting, aren't they? That's where cool air comes in contact with humid air. You're near the saturation point, but the cool air gushing out of the thunderstorms just enough to push it over. Look at this, quite interesting. The low-level winds are pushing the clouds in from the south. Underneath, the winds are blowing in from the southeast, and yet on top, the clouds are coming in from the southwest. That's called directional shear, and it's one of the components that starts spinning thunderstorms, and that's what's going on with these storms out to the west tonight. Here are the storm clusters that roared through here this morning, producing upwards of 4 or more inches of rain, not far from Morris and in our southern suburbs. And look at this squall line tonight. The cloud tops with those storms out west have been upwards of 60,000 feet at times today, and we're starting to get some new showers, and these should soon associate with some lightning in spots in our northern suburbs. These, it looks like, will tend to fire a little bit north of the ones that came in last night, and they may ultimately move up into Wisconsin. But here's the stuff out to the west that'll kick a wave at us later tomorrow. These are formidable storms. Look at them in our three-dimensional radar imagery here. These things tower again to 55,000 feet at this hour, and there's quite a curl there. That's the circulation that's going to come over us and rain once this thing goes through and we cool off later in the week. Here's a Doppler plot of the rains that came down this morning, where you see green, the rains were heaviest. This favored, again, the southern suburbs. And again, there were some very heavy amounts of rain. We'll show you some of those in a bit. It's 76 tonight at O'Hare. I'm going to go back to that again. It is 77 at Midway Airport, 71 at Wheatfield, Indiana, and 73 at McHenry. These are temperatures today along the lake, a little bit of cooling there, but 82 at Palatine and 81 at Wadsworth. Look out in Kansas, though, a couple of really cool cameras of these storms sweeping into the area out there. This is Garden City, Kansas, and you can see some thunderstorms going into that region as well. And here's Junction City, Kansas, where the storms have roared into that area. There have been some impressive winds with those storms, and we've got a table of those. Look at some of these wind gusts at Wichita, Johnson, Udall, and Junction City. So you get an idea of the kind of winds that these things are capable of developing. And there are flood watches in effect in the green areas, with tornado watches here in the orange, and the pink areas are under severe weather watches as well. The counties that are shaded in solid yellow are counties in which there is a thunderstorm warning out now. Well, our model says the storms will flare overnight to the north of us, and then there's the batch that comes through tomorrow afternoon. So as the day heats up, and we may be flirting with 90 in some parts of the area tomorrow, making it the warmest day of the next 7, the air will rise, thunderstorms will form, and there's a severe weather threat in the afternoon and evening, and later in the week we'll drop back to the 70s here in the Chicago area. Blazing heat continues to the south. It drives the whole U.S. weather pattern. Cool air is diving in its backside. The storms are erupting right along the boundary right there. But look at current readings. 76 here, still 86 in St. Louis. This is important because the storms tend to form on the periphery of this hot air mass and then rotate around it in what's often called a ring of fire type pattern. And there's a warm front setting up right here. This is where our southeast winds are hit by southwest winds, and the pileup of air leads to the upwelling that leads to those thunderstorms in turn that, like the ones that came through here this morning. See the southeast winds here? If you went down to St. Louis now, the winds will be blowing from the southwest. So this collision of competing winds piles the air up and leads to thunderstorm development. Winds are east-southeast at 10 tonight, humidity at 69%, high mold count, moderate grass and weed pollen reports today. Well, here's how the whole pattern unfolds in the next 24 hours. By morning, most of the storms have flared to the north of us. There's a warm front sitting in this trough line just south, and this thing will try to push through during the day. As a wave comes across it, thunderstorms will erupt in the afternoon, it appears, and those could be vigorous. We're sitting right under a jet stream. We'll start the day with some widely scattered showers and a little bit of a mix of sun before this low pressure spins over us and brings the cool air in, and looks like a pretty wet Thursday around here. Here's a plot of all the severe weather reports today. Each of the red triangles there is a tornado. And here's where the Storm Prediction Center says there may be severe weather tomorrow and tomorrow night, and Wednesday night. It's possible a storm could clip the area early in the day, and that then we'll get a little bit of sunshine, and clouds will redevelop again later Wednesday and come in during the afternoon. We've got some pretty good rain numbers coming out of this, too. We'll share those with you on the update, and look toward the weekend as well, which doesn't look bad, by the way. Partly cloudy, hazy, humid tonight, some areas of fog, maybe a little drizzle along the lake in spots, and perhaps a shower or thunderstorm or two popping in some areas. Low temperature is 68, the southeast winds at 3 to 11 miles an hour. Tomorrow, hazy, warmer, more humid, turning windy, too. Some mixed sun, then gusty thunderstorms develop. They could be scattered around in spots in the morning, but the main development is in the afternoon and evening, and those storms could be severe and prompt a weather watch, so we'll monitor that. Storms scatter late tomorrow night, staying fairly warm and humid, low 68. And sun and perhaps an isolated thunder shower Wednesday morning gives way to more clouds and showers in the afternoon and a high of about 80 on Lourdes. And we'll come back and again give you the weekend forecast.
And happy summer. It officially starts tomorrow.
It does. Tomorrow's the longest day. You know, we have 6 hours more daylight and sun that's about 473% stronger tomorrow than it is in December when winter starts.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay, Lourdes.
Well, still ahead, a warning about the